Before I get into today's video, I would like to thank you guys for the tremendous amount of support on my last video, and I'll try my best to keep making videos you guys enjoy. But anyways, without further ado, let's get into today's video. So, Pickle is back, and he's looking way bigger and stronger than before. Also, Jack Hanma seems to be doing some intense training, and in today's video I'm going to be covering chapter 150 and 151 of the Baki Dou manga. And let me know below what you think of these chapters. Now let's get into chapter 150. Jack Hanma seems to be doing some intense jaw training. I mean, those are literally meant for your arms. But Jack's using his jaws alone for this exercise. And after Jack was done with the jaw exercises, he lifted himself off of the ground and got in an L-sit formation, in which he was visibly shaking because of the exercise. This brother's abs were damn near popping out of his skin. This exercise had Jack looking like that one Instagram influencer. Jack then took the L-sit upside down and flipped onto his feet. He went from an L-sit to doing a backflip and landing it. You know, sometimes I forget how crazy Baki characters are, and then some shit like this happens. And of course, after Jack lands a backflip, he needs his daily dose of steroids. This man's been popping perks since he was young, and then he washed the steroids down with whatever the fuck that is. I'm not informed about the different foods, drinks, drugs, or steroids Jack consumes, so cut me some slack. Then Motobe was discussing the fact that performative martial arts are all the same in the aspect of them all being about aesthetic and appearances. Motobe says they are a far cry from any real combat. Motobe says what they teach is completely aesthetic and completely unrealistic, and how it looks is everything to the people that participate in performative martial arts. He says Goto's way of biting gives him shivers. If you look at karate, you'll see its techniques are often about trying to get a submission, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu's objective is a chokehold. Unlike the other martial arts, Jack's only goal is to sink his teeth into you, as if he was a wild beast, such as a lion. What we think of as a last resort for the weak, he has declared the strongest weapon without the slightest bit of shame. Also, not caring how he looks is an advantage for Jack. People like Baki Hanma, the Ogre, Orochi Doppo, Shibukawa Goki, Baki, as well as all of his peers, think that they are above it all. We then learn something that they would never have considered picking up is about to be discovered, and it's apparently one hell of a weapon, something bigger than Jack's body, which means Jack will probably get a power boost. But I'm not the writer, so who knows. And that was all for chapter 150. And in chapter 151, we see two people talking on a bench about how sometimes you can see foxes and tanuki in the area where they are. And as the dude is rambling about the foxes and tanuki, the girl's face goes blank in fear. It was like she saw a ghost. Nothing to worry about though, it wasn't a ghost. All it was a 200 million year old 8-foot man that happened to weigh 400 pounds. And he used to kill dinosaurs with his bare hands, but that's besides the point, it wasn't a ghost. Pickle was towering over them from behind the bench, with a new cut, and he's repping the scars that Musashi gave him, which looks pretty badass in my opinion. Pickle was holding a fox and a tanuki, which he was most likely gonna eat, and instead of showing any sign of hostility like he normally would, Pickle hit him with a smile and walked away. Pickle was on his Thorfinn I have no enemies type shit, and this is low-key proof of Pickle evolving and adjusting to the modern world. And as Pickle was walking away, they were like, wait, isn't that dude from the Jamon period? And the dude with the glasses was like, no way he's from the Jamon period, he looks way older. They said they get the feeling they won't be seeing any foxes or tanukis around too much anymore. We then learn what Pickle has been hunting to survive in this modern world. Albert Payne said Tokyo might be a modern city, but it still has rivers and forests. In other words, there's no shortages of life. And we mustn't forget, Pickle is the mightiest hunter in that planet's history. Pickle is the only being to ever regularly feast on Tyrannosaurus rexes. Then on the next panel, there's a river and a duck in it. If you love ducks, skip ahead, because Pickle grabs the duck. He popped out looking like the Loch Ness Monster, and as this dude is just peacefully going on a walk, he witnesses Pickle munching on this duck like it's a mukbang. Just imagine how terrifying that is. You're just going on a peaceful little stroll, and then you see this thing eating a duck. I'd be hitting the dash faster than TK. Pickle then turns his head around and smiles at the guy, and like I said, he's on his Thorfinn shit. And a bystander described this feeling, the feeling that Pickle was going to eat him. He compared the feeling to the time he witnessed Biscuit Olivia using his Pac-Man move. This guy said he thinks something is happening on a global scale, which might hint towards something big happening soon. But this is just some random ordinary dude saying this. And to the normal person's point of view, the average Baki fight is probably something on a global scale. And on the next panel, we're back to Motobe, the biggest yapper in Baki. He said there's a matter of purity of the intentions you have towards a battle. And when it comes to purity, you can take anyone in the world, and it's no means to be more pure than Jack Hanma. The rivalry between Pickle and Jack was then continued. When Motobe was asked if Pickle was more pure than Jack, he said Pickle was a special case, and most likely there will be a Pickle vs Jack Hanma rematch. But once again, this is just an assumption, but I don't think they put this panel in the manga for no reason. And that's gonna be all for today's video. And if you enjoyed today's video and want to support me, you can leave a like and subscribe. It helps me out way more than you may think. And also, let me know what you guys think of those 2 chapters in the comment section. Me personally, I'm really glad that Pickle's back in the manga, since he's one of my favorite characters by far. And I'm curious what moves he may have learned after all this time. But that's gonna be all. Bye!